2 #1 overall picks in the NFL Draft. It's Jared Goff going up against Jameis Winston. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth. We turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Watch it now, Barney. Let's go.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a... Second and 9. Second down following the run.
Here we go. Leopard.
Here's Goff now on second down. And this is incomplete. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Darryl Smith is a very reliable linebacker who can rush off the edge and also cover in the secondary.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. So the D-line's going to spread out. The first carry now for Doug Martin. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
In 2015, we saw the Doug Martin that we saw as a rookie, didn't we?
Absolutely. A 1,400 yards, second only to Adrian Peterson last year.
And he really helped a young quarterback develop by taking a lot of pressure off of him.
Now he feels good coming off that 5-year deal he signed in March.
Feels even better about that. And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Glennon, he's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And Evans pulls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, high in the air to bring it in. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
On second down, here's Goff. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On first down, it's Gurley. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I'm still astounded by the recovery of Todd Gurley from the knee injury at Georgia, the offensive rookie of the year in his first season.
Now over 1,100 yards, and now, they drafted the rookie, Jared Goff. Kind of see him as their future, but so much of the focus has to be on Gurley this year, doesn't it?
And the future becomes now if Todd Gurley keeps running the football the way that we've seen him run it in the past, because that will make it easier to break in a rookie quarterback.
He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guy. Will get the football back. Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. Muscles him off. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
One man on the backfield, that's Martin. And they'll give it to him here. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now that's the Doug Martin we saw, not just in his rookie year when he burst on the scene out of Boise State, but how about in 2015 when he earned a big-time contract extension from Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you mentioned it, from Boise State, 31st pick back in 2012. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, and they've got it here with a first down. Here's Martin. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He finds Humphreys. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, Martin. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 4th and 3. So on 4th down, here's the Buccaneer place kicker, Roberto Aguayo now. This one from 48 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Check. Patriot. Here we go.
On first down, gone. And to the left side here, Wilson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go.
From the gun, here's Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll run here with Mason. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. William Golston in on the stop.
But not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. On the ground again, it's Mason. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the red zone now, Goff. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's 1st and goal. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Now they run. It's Mason. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much... They trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They start the drive with Martin. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Glennon and Brate, the tight end's got it. And down he'll go at the 25. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-state to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley, he's got our EA Sports halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And they're definitely showing blitz here. And a 10th carry here for Martin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Evans has it left side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
First half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Goff now on second down. Completes it right side to Britt. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taken in at the 22. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now Glennon. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They set up the screen to Martin. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They're still in search of the first down after that last completion. So third down, and defensively, the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
No. Check. Over. Set. Green. Now look at this.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Try to lay one up deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. One receiver to the left is Evans.
Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot.
Glennon. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Cameron Brate, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Time running out here on the play clock. To throw is gone. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
58, Mike, 58.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
Here we go now. Watch it now, Barney. Detroit.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Third down, still 14 yards left. It's Goff. He finds his man. It's Austin. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From the 50, it's Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. 30 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Rams.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here's the option going right. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Tackle is made by Clinton McDonald.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Play clock winding down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, after last week, where he kept finding the end zone, what do you have, 2 touchdown runs?
Yep.
He's got to be just a tad frustrated here. Close, but he hasn't gotten in.
Maybe they give him another shot. We'll see.
Well, I would think so. I think he's built up that type of equity, but the guys on the other side of the ball know it too.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Now let's go.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. Time for a break. And it is incomplete. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And tough starting field position here. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down. Have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
The tackle by Robert Quinn.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule